2.
Juan.
That was
Can you hear that?
They probably didn't even hear that. I've never seen such a fail on a clap before.
3, 2, 1. This is literally what happened.
and like that, we're back.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome back to Insignificant Thoughts. My name is Louis.
I'm Chris. Sorry. Coffee.
We're still waking up. We're still like
Processing.
getting ready.
Trying.
But today, well, before we get into that, first of all, let me not be rude. How are you doing, Chris?
I'm good. Tired.
Tired?
Yeah, it was a busy weekend.
Yeah.
Very
Oh
busy
yeah.
weekend. Yeah, it's kind of busy weekend.
Yeah, we were part of that weekend. We had a little get together with on our friend's house, and we played some board games, and
we got late.
Yeah, we got lit.
And that's true. Yeah, late and lit.
Yeah. It was fun. It was super fun.
Like
so
3 hours of sleep.
You stayed way later than us too.
I stayed way later. Yeah, the next day.
What time did you get home?
Yesterday, probably like 10 o'clock at night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
not too bad.
Not too bad. By the time I got home, man, I was just like, ugh. I was clawing my way to my bed.
Waking up this morning was so hard. I wanted nothing but to stay in my bed.
Really?
Oh my god, bro!
See, it wasn't that difficult for me. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
It was more difficult for me. It was more difficult to actually get myself home. I was just like, ugh. That actually.
I know, because you were up early. First of all,
up at like 7 a.m.
We went to bed at what, 3 in the morning? I think it was like 3:30 in the morning on Saturday. Well, I mean Sunday morning actually.
Mm-hmm.
And we woke up at like at 7 something.
Yeah, by 7 I was up.
I went back to sleep until 10. Did you ever go back to sleep on Sunday? You were up that whole time.
No, yeah,
so you slept for like 3 hours.
Yep.
And then went to bed at like what, like 11?
1:30.
Oh my god, Chris. How are you here?
Is that like that night owl thing that I got?
I'd be dead.
No, I'm telling you, I woke up and I felt great. I felt great on Sunday morning. I felt great. I literally, if I'm not mistaken, between those hours, I was either laying down with my eyes open, staring at the ceiling, as I usually do, or I sat down right by Kevin's Christmas tree.
Oh my god, yeah.
And I meditated for about probably an hour because everyone started getting up at around 10. Yeah. 10:30. So by like 9, I would say by like 8:40, 8:50, I was already sitting on the pillow getting ready to.
Yeah, our friend has this has this nook in his condo that is literally made for a Christmas tree.
It has like windows surrounding. It's like one of those nooks that has a. If you enclose the other half of that little nook, it would be. What's the 6-sided freaking thing?
Hexagon.
Did I get that right? Yeah, hexagon. Yeah, hexagon. Yeah, it's a hexagon. So there's windows on each side of the first half of the. So it's literally made for you to put the tree there.
And he never takes it off.
And he never takes it off.
Which
honestly
never takes it down. Sorry, never takes it down yet.
Honestly, I'm not mad at it.
No,
I'm not mad at it. In the beginning, I was like, that's a little odd.
Yeah.
But then when he took it down, I was like, that's even weirder. I'm sorry. Put it back up.
I know.
Like, I was
it looked
just
weird
put it back
without
up.
it.
He had to take it back down for repairs.
It was like repairs and stuff. Yeah.
Some stuff.
Yeah.
But long story short, he took it down. And when he took it down and like his living room was bare bones. It's kind of bare bones anyway. So it's like whatever. But what stuck out like a sore thumb for me was the lack of the Christmas tree.
We didn't see it. We've seen it for like 3
like,
years now. It wasn't there.
Where's the tree?
I know.
Like literally, where is it?
Weird.
But whatever.
But yeah, it was a fun weekend.
Great weekend.
And today, what we decided to do, we went to social media and we asked everybody to send us some questions.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be about us or whatever it was, just questions in general. And we based the podcast just as a Q&A today. Yeah. So you don't even know the questions. I read some of them. I tried not to read too much into them.
Didn't you copy and paste them? No?
I did. So I just kind of like, I was trying to do my best to not read through all of them while I was just copy and pasting.
Oh, okay.
You know. So anyway, I read most of them, but you know.
Okay, no, it's fine. It's fine.
So we're gonna start first with a question from Joseph, one of our friends, mutual friends from Edgar side, another friend of ours, and he said, besides the essentials like food, water, shelter, or clothing, What are 3 things that you can't live without? Dead silent.
That's a difficult question.
It
That's
is.
the thing, because like, what is
Because so it can't be food, water, shelter, clothing. I'm gonna even put like money in there and stuff.
Shelter, clothing.
Yeah, I think. I mean, Chris, for you, that's like easy.
My computer. I mean, that's like ridiculously easy.
Weed.
No, that's another one. Probably.
Yes.
Yeah, that's probably another one. I'm not going to lie.
100%, bro.
100%. I wasn't thinking of that because I was just like, I could technically go without it. It's like, well,
But it helps you a lot, doesn't
yeah,
it?
it helps me a crap ton. But you know, I feel like it's not an absolute necessity. Like I can function completely fine without it. But I would love to still have it.
Yeah.
I would definitely love to still have it because I don't know. It just helps me with a couple things.
Damn, that's a hard.
It's a hard.
Now
but
I'm trying
computer would be one, and it's ironic because I've said in multiple episodes in the past that I acknowledge that there are so many dangers to technology, like a ridiculous amount.
Yeah.
But look at me. Like anyone that knows me, you go into my room. There's like 4 screens in my 5. I don't even freaking know how many screens. And it's I work on the computer. I play video games. That's how I keep in touch with the world. You know, some people utilize their phone to like keep in touch with the world, via social media and stuff. I utilize my computer. I go everywhere and anywhere I can, think of and explore the net. And
I'm trying to think of like something that is so essential for me that I use
and I think it's for me. I think back to the computer really quick. For me, I think the computer's only an essential because I don't know what I would do if I didn't have access to knowledge, like certain things.
Yeah.
Like that would be I think if I grew up in another era, I'd be like a library geek.
Yeah.
I'd probably be in there just reading all day. So
Yeah.
it's like that for me.
But the
sure.
thing here is that he's saying besides the essential stuff. So I'm like, I can't say phone because that's essential, right? That's that's like an essential thing that we usually have.
Yeah, but besides the essentials,
Besides the
you
essentials,
could live
I'm trying to
without
think
a
of
phone.
I know, but I'm trying to think of like outside of the box here.
Yeah,
So okay,
yeah.
I would say this, right? I don't use this every day, but I'm trying to think of things that I don't usually have on
I get what you're trying to say.
You know what I'm saying? Because I can't say phone. I can't. That's like anyway. I would say I'm gonna say
We're thinking too much about.
I'm gonna say Nintendo Switch.
Okay, in that case, my bong. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Nintendo Switch 1. I'm gonna say
Ooh, coffee.
Coffee for you. Okay,
Coffee's not an essential, but I don't know, man.
bro. This is a hard question.
Coffee for me.
Oh,
those
I
but
can't.
I think I got mine.
Milkshakes.
Yeah. Milkshake. I'm sitting here thinking it's gonna be something like.
But wait, it's food.
Groundbreaking.
No, I can't
It
think
is,
of
it is,
food.
it
Wait,
Wait,
food.
it's not food. Milkshakes. Yeah.
Bro, this is too hard. I can't think of it.
It's a very difficult question to answer.
Oh my god, my guitar.
You know what? You know what? That
My guitar.
I wonder if the sound kept
Okay.
What? I'd love
My
it.
guitar.
I could see
That's all
why.
I could think of, bro.
You know
This
what's
is
funny?
too hard.
I could see that.
Yeah.
A guitar, my
Yeah.
computer, coffee. Coffee for me.
I feel like I could think more for you than I can think for me. Like for you, like I would say weed, I
Yeah.
would say coffee, I would say your beads.
Oh, these to meditate.
Your beads.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got.
I'm saying 'cause we gotta think outside of the box,
Yeah,
right?
where it's like you can't. It's like you kind of go with them everywhere. Or
Yeah.
It's like I don't know.
I'm sorry, Joe.
Your Switch-
man. I
your
feel like
Switch-
I'm not answering his questions fully, but it's a hard question.
I think but I think you answered it there. I think if you didn't have a Switch, like if there was nothing else around you, at least having a Switch for you
Yeah.
would be fine.
Yeah, Switch.
You'd be like, all right,
keep
I'm
me busy.
entertained. I'm good.
Yeah.
No, I don't need the PlayStation. I don't need the computer. But the Switch is
Yeah.
everything. I can take it around with me. Whatever. I
Yeah.
get that one.
Yeah. The guitar, I feel
That
like.
one. You know what's funny? I probably would throw the Switch in there too.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, because I could literally take it with me anywhere.
A Switch and a charger. I'm going to have to pop a charger in there. So
A Switch and a charger. Does a charger come included?
It doesn't. I feel like that'll be my second
great.
one.
And
No, no.
electricity. I'm just kidding.
Electricity is the last one. Anyway, we'll move on.
I'm
He had a
horrible.
second question too. He
Yeah.
said, "Would you rather fight a bear or a gorilla, and why?"
Okay. Now this is where it gets complicated. A black bear or a grizzly bear?
Oh God, I feel like I don't know. I don't know
Because there's a difference.
I know there is, but okay. I'll you know what? I let you answer the first one first. I'll answer this one first.
Okay.
We'll make turns.
Let me take this
So,
out real quick. 'Cause
for
I gotta look
me-
at something.
For me, just thinking out of just like any like my I don't know encounter with some, I feel like I would have a better chance with a bear than I would have with a gorilla.
Wait.
Don't be looking at me
Why?
like that. Like if I'm stupid,
like,
right?
no,
This is
you're
just
not.
my answer, okay? You can have your own damn answer,
No, no,
Chris.
no, no, no,
You
no,
let
no,
me
no,
have
no,
my
no, no, no.
answer.
I'm just looking something up.
Okay,
There's no
this
shit,
is
I
all
swear.
right. No, but you go after me. Okay, I'm
trying,
answering
I'm
this.
trying to-
So for me, I would say a gorilla. It's because gorillas could be humongous. I know bears can be humongous too and bigger than a gorilla. Whatever. I'm just saying, an intimidating factor. If I went in a cage and I saw a gorilla, big
Or a
ass
bear,
gorilla,
and
or
you're
a bear,
opening one of two doors.
I would probably go take my chances with a bear. That would just be me.
I would have to agree with you.
Because I feel like it's less intimidating. I feel like a gorilla is too real to being a freaking monstrous human. I don't know. It's just creepy to me. That's why I choose gorilla.
Okay. So you'd rather fight the
The gorilla.
gorilla.
Yeah.
I'd rather fight a bear.
A bear.
Yeah.
Why?
And so I was just reading that. The reason why I was looking it back up was I was like, you really don't remember.
Wait. No. I said the bear. No.
I know. I was
I
like,
said
you
no.
sure?
I'd
'Cause,
rather
you were
fight the
explaining
bear. I said.
Yeah, you'd rather
not
fight the
because
bear.
the gorilla. Yeah, the gorilla. I'm scared.
Yeah.
I will be scared. Of
That's
the
what I
gorilla,
thought I
yeah.
heard. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I was
yeah.
like, all right. I went off on
Yeah.
on Google like a rude. Stupid,
No. You're
But
good.
anyway, I agree. Reason why I agree is
Okay.
because there's I don't know. I don't
Well,
know
you
too
shocked
much.
me. I thought you were gonna disagree.
Oh no,
Okay.
no, not at all. There's a reason behind this, and you're gonna be like, oh, I get it now. I know a lot less about gorillas than I do about bears. Number one,
Okay.
because there's different ways to defend yourself or to get
Oh,
away from
I
a
see.
bear,
Yeah,
depending on the type of bear.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, a grizzly bear,
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to fight a grizzly bear.
Mm.
He like literally won't stop
Yeah.
until you stop moving.
Yeah,
So
and
that's
he'll
why
eat
they
you
say-
alive, too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why they say with grizzlies, you stay calm.
Mhm.
You if you don't have back off very slowly.
Mhm.
Don't run.
Mm-hmm.
Try to use bear spray.
Mm.
But if they're fighting you, play dead.
Yeah.
With grizzlies.
Yeah.
Because you're not
think-
they're not going to stop, and they're huge
Yeah.
in like size wise
Mhm.
comparison to
Yeah.
black bears. They're
Yeah, I think a bear will
Monstrous.
be enormously bigger than
A grizzly,
than,
yeah.
than a gorilla, but still, I don't know, something about me standing. I'm picturing myself going in a cage and having
a
to
gorilla?
choose between two, and a gorilla just standing there looking at,
all
bro.
muscle,
I feel like I
looking
would
like
be.
something out of an MMA
Oh
fight.
my god, you've seen them shaved,
No. Wait,
It's
I
just-
gotta look at this now,
bro. It is intimidating, bro.
This is so bad. This is bad. This is
Muscle
bad.
everywhere. Muscle everywhere.
Shaved gorilla.
He's literally- for those that are just listening, Chris just Google shaved
What
gorillas.
is that?
Bro, isn't that crazy?
Wow, bro.
Look at the muscles on that
Those
thing.
are freaking body goals right there.
For
you know?
real. Ain't that crazy?
Brielle, did you just Google that?
My wife is
Brielle
off
should
the
be
screen.
she should be our sound lady. Just like here, just touching knobs.
They look like humans crouching down. Yep, that's a good description.
Do.
But this is what I'm saying. It's like a human on steroids. I feel like that would just throw me off.
I feel like that's what makes it less scary for me.
Oh, for me, it makes it even
Like
more.
I feel like if you tell me grizzly versus gorilla, I'm probably gonna do gorilla. Like I'll fight the gorilla.
Wait, now you change your answer.
No, yeah, but if you tell me,
Oh, grizzly,
yeah,
or
if you tell me just a grizzly bear versus
Yeah.
a gorilla, I am going to choose the gorilla.
yeah, I
Because
get
at
it.
least
But
I have
just,
a fighting
but
chance.
just
There's
stay there.
no- just stay.
Just fall asleep, bro. Just
stay
fall
there
asleep.
like a blob. Just fall asleep. You'll be fine.
And just wait for the time to finish. Yeah, no. Oh, but no, but you got to fight to death. Yeah,
Does
no,
it say
it's
that?
just,
Did he say-
it's just who would you rather fight? So you have to fight it. So
yeah, what would you rather fight? Holy
it depends
crap.
on the bear, I guess. But no, I'm still going gorilla, bro. I mean, I'm still going bear. Yeah, I'm
okay.
still going bear. Yeah,
Yeah, I'll go bear also. No, actually, no. It depends on the bear. That's
Yeah.
gonna be
I
my
would
answer.
still go bear.
Unfortunately, black bear. I'll probably choose the black bear because black bear will stop fighting if you fight it.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, but
I
not a
get it.
grizzly. A grizzly will just keep going until you stop moving.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, grizzlies are crazy. If
Yeah.
you look at, I don't know if you've ever seen what is it, Discovery Planet or whatever,
Discovery
Wildlife
Channel?
Animal Planet or whatever.
Discovery Planet.
Discovery
you just,
Planet.
You just put two different channels
messed these
together.
freaking things. Yeah, I just messed that up. And for anyone that knows me, knows that's common. with
Oh
me.
yeah.
Anyway, if you watch grizzlies, it's marvelous.
Mm.
It's crazy. Like we look at them, we think they're all cute, but they are
Oh, they'll mess
beasts.
you up. They'll
They
mess you
are
up.
big, beautiful, crazy animals.
No, thank you.
No. Sorry.
All right, so
I'm just
we
watching
have a
bears
few
the other
questions,
day.
so
Yeah,
we'll
sorry.
move
Keep
on.
going, yeah.
No, stop apologizing. All right, so the next question is from my lovely wife Brielle, sitting over there. She
Hello.
said, "Do you guys remember the first time you met?" I'll let you answer that, and then I have my answer.
Yes, I do. I don't remember specifically the moment in church where we met.
I do.
I don't.
I do.
I remember you guys coming over our house that day.
Mhm.
You remember that?
Mhm.
That's where I officially remembered.
So I remember. So we met in church, obviously.
Uh-huh.
The first time. Okay, so the first time I saw you, first of all, I walked into the church, into the service,
Mm-hmm.
and you were singing.
Oh yeah, I was singing up front. Yeah.
You were singing, and I think Joel was Joel singing at that time?
I don't remember. I think he was at that point.
I think he was.
We kind of managed to encourage him.
I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like Joel, one of
Yeah.
our old friends too from church, was singing with you.
I think so at that point. Yeah.
And I don't remember who else was singing, but that's the first time I saw you. And that same day, because my parents introduced themselves to your parents,
Mm-hmm.
they introduced us to you guys that same day.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I just don't remember the actual moment.
Yeah.
Inside church.
It was in the front. It was. I remember. I'm telling you. I remember. I don't know why I remember.
was
this
literally
so
in the front?
vividly. Yeah, it was in the front. We were waiting for the service to finish.
To end?
You
Okay.
know, but your dad came down first. You guys were still singing,
Yeah.
and then Dad. I believe.
My
I
dad
believe it
probably
was like
pulled.
that. I believe like Dad was probably introducing himself or
Yeah.
something, and then eventually like
Eventually, my dad
started
pulled him.
pointing out
Yeah.
to because he has 4 kids, so started pointing out, and then eventually you came and
He
you introduced
does
yourself.
that. He does that where it's like, Chris ven a conocer, come see these people in introduction.
Yeah, this was
Oh God.
2023.
2005.
This was 2006.
Six?
2006.
5, 6?
So what is that?
I don't know.
10.
I don't do math.
No, that's 16 years.
I don't do
Is that right?
calculus. Sorry.
I think it's 16 years.
16. Holy.
16 or 17
shoot.
years or something like that. Anyway, that's a long time.
Mm.
A long time. Anyway, we'll move on.
Mm-hmm.
So the next question from Brielle is, if you died right now,
Mm-hmm.
and when you got to heaven, God said you can go back to earth for 15 minutes, but you can't visit family or friends, where would you go?
The top of the Himalayas.
Damn, that was a fast answer.
Yeah. Somewhere where it's ridiculously majestic. If it would have to be
Yeah.
here on Earth, it would be that. If it had to be anywhere else, I don't know, take me to the rings of Saturn or something like that. Something no one will ever no one I know here on Earth has ever seen.
You know what?
or
Like
do that.
I I thought that I would say somewhere like that, somewhere beautiful. Like, I don't know, but I feel like I would want to be somewhere that I know, and I would go to Puerto Rico. I would go to Puerto Rico and sit in the beach in Vega Baja. I would sit in the
Ah.
beach in Vega Baja, right by the rocks, by where everybody used to dive in, the beach that I've spoken to you about,
Mm-hmm.
and I would sit there and just watch where I grew up.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's you know what? That doesn't sound bad either.
Mm.
Flipping that, like going off of that, I probably would do something similar. I would go back to where I grew up in Brooklyn. Probably not do anything. Just stand
Yeah.
on a corner and it's like, wow.
That made me a little bit sentimental, man. I'm
It's
like,
like,
I'm trying
oh.
to think of like, man, because you know that you can't go back and visit your family, right?
Mhm.
So you just, I feel like I would just want to be somewhere that reminds me of family, reminds me of my
get what
childhood
you're
and
saying.
everything. So I would just go there and sit there and, man, that would be.
I think that would be nice. That's the reason why I still go visit every now and then. I mean, you probably known that we've done this for years. We go visit our old town all the time
Yeah.
in Brooklyn or whatever, our old church, and it's not because we got no business doing anything over there, but
Mhm.
yeah, go
It's
down memory
nostalgia.
lane.
Yeah. It's
Yep.
it's nice to go back.
Last
and
time we were over there, we were like, "Oh, that's the pizzeria we used to eat at."
Mm.
Literally, the owner is the son of the original owner, and he said that he used
Oh.
to work and he used to work with his dad, and back then he used to remember my parents bringing us in for pizza and stuff.
Oh,
like that.
wow.
I was like, you sure you remember us? And
That's
then
a good memory.
and then my dad, you know how my dad is, like, yeah, I used to come here 40 years ago, and it's like, okay.
Mm.
But he does that everywhere he goes, and ironically, there are a lot of places, especially over there. They're like, I remember you.
Yeah.
You have 4 boys, and he's like, yeah, we're your 4 boys, and it's like, damn, like,
Man,
how is?
yeah,
how
I
do you
think
do
about that stuff, and I'm like, I wish I could go back to the church that I grew up in Puerto Rico, but have everybody that I knew still there and be able to catch up with everybody. Oh man, I miss Puerto Rico. I miss a lot of friends that that I had over there and family that I still have there. But yeah, man, when you start thinking about like
where
you grew up and stuff like that,
yeah.
that's nice.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. It's just it's a different time. I think I mentioned that today too at work.
Mm.
I'm like the worries and the woes of a child.
Mm.
What beauty.
Yeah,
Don't worry about, well, if you have good parents, you don't have to worry about a lot of things.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
sometimes that turns into a beautiful experience.
that's
And
true.
I'm glad I think I had a decent childhood.
Same here. I'm
So-
very thankful. All right, so we'll move on. The next question comes from Danielle. Danielle is my coworker. Her question is, what's an opinion you have that you feel most people would disagree with, and why?
It's a trap to get canceled. Our PR manager's here. She said, don't answer it. Don't answer. Plead the fifth.
I got mine.
Plead the
Think of
fifth.
yours, okay? I got mine.
Okay. Hey guys, I have many.
Mine is, for me, is the definition of love. So I know that most people would disagree with this, but I truly believe this in my heart.
I almost destroyed the mic stand.
And this is a little bit, this is hard to say, but I believe people have the wrong meaning of what love is. For me, love is respect. It's like the number one thing. But for me, if you, this is rough, and you'll know why it's rough, but if you cheat, I feel like you never really understood what love was. That's just my opinion. I know that a lot of people would disagree with that because people themselves have cheated and felt that, they still love the person that they cheated on and everything. Again, it's my opinion. I'm not saying it's the right opinion. I just feel like, for me, right, I love my wife to death. To death. Okay. And there's been many times where the opportunity to cheat has been there.
Mm-hmm.
Never has it even been close of nothing, not even a desire or anything,
Mm-hmm.
for me to cross that line ever. And I feel because I don't think people understand love like I do.
Mm-hmm.
That's my
is you, and why do you think that is? Is it because you
I think that
experienced you have this experience of love, or do you think it's just because?
I don't know. I think that I got lucky.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got lucky with finding my wife and finding the connection that we have. I think that we both understand very well, and respect each other very well. I think it's just that. I think it's just I got super lucky. But the thing here is that it's just how I've always thought about things. Like, I know that everybody's wired differently, right? So, the way that I'm wired, my body, my self-conscious will not allow me to cheat.
Mm-hmm.
It won't allow me to. It's something that I can't compute in my brain. If I ever felt like I was on that path to cheat, it means that my marriage is no longer working. So I would just rather divorce there.
Mm-hmm.
So I will never allow it to get to the point. If it gets to that point ever, which I don't think it will, but if it ever were to get to that point, it means that my marriage is not solid.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what I think.
Mm-hmm.
So-
I can see where the unpopular opinion is.
Yeah.
Where it's like, because to your point, there's a lot of people, and I've seen people that have experienced that, where it's like
Mm-hmm.
they either have been cheated on or cheat or whatever, and they go around touting and speaking about love.
Yeah.
And that's difficult because the term love itself
Mm-hmm.
is difficult to define.
Yeah. I think everybody has their own definition of love. And that's why I think, again, it's a super unpopular opinion. Great question.
People may have their own definition of love, but now here's my 2 cents on the unpopular opinion. But that doesn't mean their definition is correct.
Yeah. Yep.
That's not what that means.
I really, truly believe that everybody that doesn't have my same beliefs of what I believe of love, I think that they don't know what love is. I don't think that they know, that they believe you can like someone,
Mm-hmm.
right? And enjoy someone so much.
Mm-hmm.
But again, for me, once you love someone, it's something that you can't cross. It's just something that you can't cross. And that's just what happened for me.
Coincidentally, and I let you continue on that topic or tangent because it actually came up this weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it came it came up this weekend. We on Saturday morning, as you know, we were at a friend's funeral, right? A friend's father's funeral.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course we were there to support, and we
Yeah,
got
rest
to
in
meet
peace, Lionel. Lionel Senior.
Yeah, Lionel's father.
Yep.
And we got to meet a lot of people, and within that crowd of people was one of his cousins that I don't know, we just she connected very well with a bunch of you guys, and eventually she ended up in my car, and I found it very ironic because I kept telling myself within that time frame within the week, because as you know, things like that take a lot of energy from me, a decent amount of energy from me. And I always tell myself, and I kept telling myself repeatedly, there are no coincidences. And the topic came up, the cheating topic came up.
I came up with her.
Yeah, it came up with her, and I'm not going to go into details because obviously it's not my
it's a private conversation.
Yeah, it's a private conversation, but I alluded to that. Not I alluded, I said it. I said, well, if an individual is going to go ahead and pull the trigger on cheating, that means they were not either are not aware or they don't care about the consequences to the other person, right? To their emotions, their well-being,
Yeah.
even their health. If you're talking like in serious terms, because if you mess with someone else, you could bring some disease, anything.
Yeah, yeah.
So I basically stated that what you just stated. I think the majority of people out there have a poor understanding of what love is, right? And I'm not saying I do, but the majority of people have a poor understanding of what love is, and they don't know the meaning of words, or they weren't taught the power and the meaning of words.
Yeah.
So then I got into the topic of marriage, and I told her, I was like, but people don't understand, for example, till death do us part. If you're going anywhere around that, that means your word carried no meaning. And if your word carries no meaning, that means you carry no weight. And if you don't carry your weight around in this world, what are you doing?
Damn.
So it's like,
Yeah.
it's a very serious topic, because I acknowledge that there are times where it has happened and people have reconciled and things have worked. I'm not saying they don't, but to piggyback off what you said, if something happened and they cheated, in my opinion, up till that point in time, that individual did not take that relationship with that person seriously and did not love them in every sense of the word, because you would not intentionally do anything, or you would not compromise an individual that you love.
Yeah.
You will not. You will try. I tell that to people all the time. How many times have I felt, and this many people can relate this. You feel like you anger because of something, or you feel like you can't have a conversation or something like that with your family member, and you feel this, and you don't want to physically hurt them.
Yeah.
And you can have all these emotions, but you're never gonna do something so outrageous that they're gonna be like, I don't want to see you again. Man, that's your family. You love them. You might have a roller coaster of emotions with them, but you love them.
Yeah.
Therefore, you won't hurt them. So if you don't have, at least in nature, a similar type of love, then I don't think you know what love is. I don't think you have love.
Yeah. Yeah.
This goes back to what we were talking about last podcast. Family values, love.
Yeah.
You don't have that. You likely won't be able, and you won't be able to recognize it. You won't be able to nurture it. So there's a higher chance, and I'm not saying there's a stat out there like this. There probably is.
No.
But there's probably a higher chance that if you didn't have parents with that type of example, that you're going to have a higher divorce rate in the future. I'm more than sure that that's the case, because, again, the expression of stability and love, the fact that we're in it together, and despite the ups and downs, because there's going to be ups and downs in every relationship.
Yeah.
Despite what kind of roller coaster you're on, it doesn't matter what low. If you're committed and you love someone and you make that decision, that I always tell people, you have to think about that. If you don't think about it, it's not going to mean anything to you, and it's not love.
Yeah.
You're not going to be thinking with your head and your heart together.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know. I love. This is why this is why I wanted to do this podcast, because I know that, regardless of, whoever's watching or whatever, at the end of the day, I feel like when we have these little conversations, like, you haven't even answered your part of your question.
Oh yeah,
we're just going in. But I'm saying, like, this is why I feel like we could do this podcast, because me and you, same as like me and Brielle can have a conversation and just go forever. You the same way with me. So anyway, moving on with that. What is your what is your answer to that question?
An unpopular opinion.
What is an opinion that you have that you feel most people would disagree with, and why?
Oh God, here we go. Okay. Mental health, as we know it nowadays, at least how it's propped up there, is blown completely out of proportion, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I think, for some reason, a certain amount of resiliency has been lost, right? From maybe it's because as humans we've dealt with different types of challenges, but that doesn't necessarily mean that resiliency has to be lost. Like, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be resilient. But I've observed during the past, in my generation and whatnot, and a couple others, that it's like the give up mentality, the resiliency is not there.
Okay.
Like it's like, oh, I have anxiety, I have this and that. There's a laundry list of excuses that people nowadays have created for themselves. And I'm of the type of school of thought that, yes, mental health issues exist. They do.
Yep.
But going around parading them as a thing, or as an excuse, as a crutch for you to not do something, that's immature. It's childish. And I've seen it happen more times than not. And I tell people, I was like, this is where the dark side of kind of like having the internet blow certain things out of proportion comes into play. Now everyone nowadays thinks they either have ADHD, they think they're anxious, they think they're depressed. I actively always tell people I don't know what those things feel like, and I've told you that. I can't tell you what it feels like because I've never actively been either anxious or depressed.
Yeah, but do you feel like you've ever had any type of mental health issue, like
the attention deficit portion for sure.
Okay.
That's just been story of my life. Anyone that knows me or that's been at my place can clearly see there's an issue. You know, and I know there's an issue.
Okay.
But I don't let that, and anyone that knows me knows that I don't let that hinder me, what I get accomplished and what I do. I choose to treat it as a portion of myself as opposed to a hindrance to myself.
So do you think that the people that, I guess it affects them differently and affects them harder than that anybody else?
There's the second that. Keep going. Sorry.
Okay. No. I'm saying, like, so what do you think you think that is people just don't know how to deal with it properly and know how to maneuver around it, or
I would say people are not told. Sorry. I would say people are not told enough, right? This is going to sound really bad. And for those that know me, know that I don't mean this with any sort of malintent or bad intention.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't know how to just suck it up. Like, suck it up, Sally. Honestly, there's so much. So you have no idea how many times in whatever I've done, I've either A, wanted to give up, B, I don't want to do it. See, that I can create 20 billion excuses in my head to not do something.
Yeah.
I can do it. I can certainly do it. I don't let myself do it.
Yeah, I think it depends on the circumstances.
Yeah, no. There's like certain things for me. Like, for example, anyone that knows me also, suck it up, Sally is sometimes easier said than done. I've also fainted in a club because I haven't kept my certain panics or something under control. So it's like, you know.
No, I know where your heart is. So like I just want to say this.
Curb
I know
the suck it up, Sally part. Yeah,
no, not curb that. I just want to say what I'm going to say because I know that people will take you out of context.
Yeah, they always will. But
so I'm just saying, you know. So I know that yes, there are people that unfortunately, due to the circumstances that are going on in life, maybe it just becomes too much, right? And they're not able to deal with it. Maybe they don't have that someone in their life that could tell them, listen, you got this, or any type of guidance in their life, right? So it's super difficult. But when you have that,
it's a different story,
bro. It's so that, and this is
Thank you
another.
I got you. Put in the rest of the pieces because that's
you.
the other portion of it. I say suck it up, Sally, but I also say that I think I've told you before this. One of the hardest things that I've had to hear in the past couple of months or whatever, maybe even past couple of years, was this notion of it's very disheartening to see how many people have gone and grown through life without hearing one encouraging word or phrase. And when you think about the consequences, and Jordan Peterson talks about that, he even tears up about that, and I understand why he tears up about that.
Yeah.
Because now think about you growing, you're a child, you're malleable, and now think about you being either trampled on or sold yourself as a failure because of everyone that was feeding you whatever.
I feel like even me and you, we've had same thing with me and my wife and whoever that I've loved in my life, but I feel like we're talking to us. I feel like you and I have had moments where we've been able to express our feelings to each other and felt some type of crazy relief.
Oh, yeah.
Because not only you've been able to understand the feeling, but you could relate to it as well. And man, going into this like little, tangent of the mental health, I really encourage anyone. I've said this in the past, but I encourage anybody.
Help.
Yes, honestly, like seek for that help.
Damn,
Don't
that's
think
such
that
a polar. I said suck it up, Sally. Now I'm saying look for help.
no,
honestly.
But it's okay. But this is what I'm saying, because his suck it up, Sally, is for me, right? I realized that I wasn't okay, so I seeked for help. I didn't.
And I know that
I didn't.
That was so hard for you. I know that was difficult for you.
Yeah. So, it's better to seek for that help than sink into that hole deeper and deeper by yourself, because you're never gonna be able to escape it. Not by yourself. It's
almost
so,
like quicksand. It's like,
bro,
the more you try, it's like the more it's like
quicksand. There's no better saying than that. 100%.
And ironically, we literally, I think it came up because the topic came up yesterday when I was conversing with Edgar.
Okay.
And I told him about a situation in which I if I could go back and say something to a certain individual, what would I say? And I said that I would say, if I can summarize in very small terms, I would say suck it up, because if you've dealt with this for your life, and you don't use it as an excuse, understand it, learn it, maneuver it, you get what I'm saying,
bro.
Understand it.
It's like
absorb.
Okay, I agree with that. Like, you want to be able to figure this out, because once you figure it out, you can see that, okay, there's going to be moments that are low, and you'll learn how to kind of ride those moments.
Exactly.
And not let them sink you.
Exactly.
And that is so relieving when you find that and you understand that. Better, in my opinion, better than deciding to just go with a pill.
Yeah. I think that's where my frustration is coming from, to be honest with you, with the whole mental health crisis thing, because I literally cannot believe how many people are either prescribed or are taking anti-anxiety medication or antidepressant medication.
Yeah.
And
I think it's because a lot of people just don't have that special person.
They don't have that special person.
They don't have that.
And modern pharma.
And
I
completely
is
understand it. And I understand.
And
I can't blame it.
I get it. But at the same time, like, I guess I would have to redirect that suck it up, Sally, more towards what's going on in big pharma as well. Like, right now, again, we treat it here. Take this.
Yeah, I feel like doctors could do a better job.
Yeah,
instead of just prescribing a pill, saying, "Hey, I think we're kind of going into that." I feel like nowadays it's a little bit better. But yeah, a doctor is there. Unfortunately, a lot of times for the wrong intentions. They're not there for you. No. They're there for themselves. So what they're going to do, them sending you to a specialist is not going to make them money.
No.
Them sending you to get help is not going to get money. No. What's going to get them money is giving you a pill.
And then you have to come back for it.
Yeah. So it's super.
I'm not, and listen, let me keep reeling it back, because not all mental health professionals are this way. I mean, we had Al last week.
Yeah.
And
not
from the sounds of it, it's a very holistic type of approach that I really do enjoy. I would love to sit down and talk with him more about it.
Yeah.
But there's the other end of the spectrum, which again irks me, because it's not only like stupid, unethical, but my opinion, it's ruining lives. I've heard things. Again, this is all anecdotal, but I've heard more than I can. There's more than I can count with my two hands, for sure.
Yeah.
Of people either taking an SSRI or an antidepressant medication, and there's certain side effects that multiple people have told me that are kind of extreme for something that's meant to help you.
That's the problem. The side effects, man. The side effects.
Tremors, sexual dysfunction if it's a high enough dose.
Oh yeah.
When you get off of it, there's you can get depressed again, like even worse than before.
Yeah, and sometimes they don't even tell you.
Yeah,
I had an experience. I had an awful experience. So I have this problem with my esophagus. My esophagus doesn't do its function, which esophagus is supposed to push your food down to your stomach, right? The function of that is supposed to be 100% of the time. Mine only does it 40% of the time.
Damn, that much?
Yeah.
Wow.
So because of that reason, I had to go to I had to get endoscopies and all this stuff. And they weren't figured out. They figured it out. Once they figured it out, before they figured it out, I'm sorry, they were giving me medication. Nothing was working. Nothing working. One time, I took a medication and I completely changed. Everything. I didn't want to do anything. I'm an outgoing person.
Yeah.
Everybody that knows me,
I
I'm
remember
super
this time.
outgoing.
It was concerning.
I didn't want to do anything. I wanted to be home. I was crying all the time. I was telling Bria, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Come to find out, the medication that they put me, side effects is depression.
What I was upset at that time was the fact that they gave it to you for the period of time.
Oh yeah,
it's known for that medication.
Yes, it was known to do that. Again, it's also my fault for not doing research on the medication. But this doctor gave me the medication, having this black label warning, and didn't tell me about it
That's
at all.
That's just why that goes to show you is like they're just.
And then you're supposed to have this medication, be on this medication for like 3 weeks or something. I was on it for 3 months.
Just no wonder. It's like
3 months, bro. And oh man, that was terrible. So,
long story short, you're depressed. If you're having issues, seek help.
100%.
The best course of action is figure it out. Don't squabble. Don't say, "Oh, I'm too anxious to do XYZ." No. Understand what's going on and tackle it head on. That's the best. Who says that now? To tackle, I don't know. One of those famous speakers and whatnot said something like "battle your giants" or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's an absolute essential skill that most people don't learn throughout their lives. Is you got to battle your giants.
Yeah. I'm telling you, because I've been there. Once you learn how to maneuver through it, man. Because it's not like I'm not saying that's gonna be cured, right? Because I still have low days and everything, but once you're in those low days, you're able to maneuver through them and know how to come right back up from it. All right, so we'll move on to the next question. The next question is from Edgar, our friend. It says, going back to the technology podcast, if you had an opportunity to clone yourself, would you? And this would mean you raising the child however you want it to be. So would you raise yourself differently?
Oh.
that's crazy.
That's a loaded question. That's a loaded question.
So first of all, we'll start with the first question. Would you clone yourself if you had the opportunity?
I would absolutely do it. Yes. The problem, the reason why I would do it, despite my like gripes with the whole cloning thing, is because why wouldn't you? I mean, at that point, you're being offered the opportunity to do so. As long as do they got a discount or is it going to cost me money?
Well, this is assuming that you could get it.
Okay,
right?
assuming I could get it, assuming everything aligns or whatever. If the opportunity was there and if, everything aligns and I had the opportunity, yeah.
But remember, this is cloning yourself. This person's going to have their own thoughts. This is not going to be you.
Yeah, I know it's not going to be me.
Okay, so you would do it.
Yeah.
You would clone yourself.
Yeah,
why?
It sounds so horrible. It would be an interesting way to study like the in and outs of my brain, even though I know it would be a completely different set of thoughts and a different set of like upbringing, a different scenario, a different upbringing. I just would like to see how is it my brain reacted or reacts to certain things,
Yeah.
Almost like it sounds so bad. I'm cloning myself to experiment on myself.
I can see why Chris would do it. I can see why Chris would do it.
I'm horrible. But
I wouldn't do it. I would just be scared of playing God.
That that's the other side of the coin. Is like, would I do it? Yes, because the opportunity is there. But
but that's fine. There's no wrong or right answers. This is just my
but
thing.
The other side of the coin is
it's just scary to me. It's just
what if
weird...
like you clone yourself and then you just turn off like
that's even worse. That's a fucking robot.
And then
of myself. That's
and then you
terrifying.
no. It's like you turn off and then all of a sudden you come into the other body. Like at a certain point, I don't know.
Oh
like
my
something
gosh.
fire, you die, and all of a sudden your other body's like.
I feel like a lot of people would say yes, but I wouldn't. I
To
would just
do
be
that?
too scared.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know.
no.
And then what was the other part of the question?
Would
It
you
was-
raise yourself the same way? Why or why not?
Okay, so if I decided to then clone myself,
Mm-hmm.
if and then decided to raise myself, and if I were to raise myself differently,
Would you?
yes,
Ooh.
in certain ways.
Okay.
Yes, I would raise myself differently in certain ways. I would still be raised in Christianity, believing in God and everything. I feel like I would tone it down a little bit. I feel like I would want to make my kid feel like he's able to make mistakes and it not meant that he's going to go to hell.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
So, and not that I'm saying that my parents were through that, but being raised in a Christian household, a strict Christian household, gets those little things where you're just like, oh man, if I do this, I'm gonna go to hell. If I do this,
Okay,
I'm
there's
gonna go to
stuff- there's
hell.
stuff
And
that
and I'm just like, so it's like a
Yeah.
little bit scary. So I feel like I will be a little bit more, again, raising my child, raising myself, as again with fear of God, but toning it down a little bit.
I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would do. I don't know if I would do it differently. I don't know if I would do the same. Like I'm trying to think of all the different scenarios because like you saying that, all right, mistakes, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm going to hell and this and that. Well, yeah, that happened to me a little bit, but then at
Yeah.
a certain time, 2 and 2 clicked in my brain and said, well, I'm still here, and the world is still turning around, and no one around me knows about certain things, X,
Yeah.
Y, Z, A, B, C. So. Like it pushed certain boundaries for me. Things like technology, for example. I don't think I would have gotten as far with technology if I wasn't as curious as I was as a kid. I needed to understand how it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I only say it because I feel like there's things that I could have potentially done and still felt okay about it that I didn't do because of fear.
Okay.
So that's the only reason.
Like going to my prom. I feared going to my prom many years
Yeah.
because it was like I understood that my parents pretty much were like at least early on they were like, oh, para qué?
Yeah, if you dance to secular
all the
music,
kids,
you're gonna
like,
go to hell.
How dare you or whatever and this and that. And surprisingly enough, I think I mentioned it already. A girl invited me, Angie. If she ever listens to this, probably not. She invited me, and I told her no. And I told my mom and dad what happened, and they were both like, "Why are you not going?" Because she actually offered to buy my ticket and everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, how the guys. But I was like, "No, I'm not going unless you buy my ticket."
Oh my God, that sounds like you.
That sounds like me.
you.
It's like,
Wait, so did you end up going?
yeah, I did. I
Oh,
went
you
to my
did?
prom. Yeah, there's pictures around there.
And you went
somewhere.
with what's her name?
Angie.
Angie. How was it?
It was great.
Yeah?
It was great. There was just nothing of it. It's like I was kind of like almost like scared shitless. And then when I told my parents, and they were like, "Just go, and I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I was almost like baffled. I'm like, "Well, what do I do? Like what do I like this? You're telling me to go to a thing like unsupervised, like
Yeah.
kids there are not the kids from church. Is like you're telling me to do something that you like really?
Yeah. Did she know that you were gay?
No,
She didn't.
I wasn't out. No. I wasn't
Ah.
out at the time.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And-
It was like
Yeah.
I just
Yeah. She didn't. I mean, it's not part. I'm just saying. It's
yeah. But she probably. I mean, I don't know if she did ask me because of that or not. She was a friend.
Yeah.
So it's like I guess she was just looking for a date to go to the prom
of
with, and I was
course,
like, oh,
100%.
whatever.
She was looking to have a good time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And we had a great time. It was all the people from high school that I remember and all that fun stuff. I still stay in contact with some of them every now and then. But that was I can see where the fear of I'm
Yeah.
telling you, I was scared as a and I literally I was asking my parents, I'm like, what do I do? It's like, what do you mean, what do you do? And I'm like, what do I do? I'm
Yeah.
like a 17, 18-year-old here, and this is a prom, and it's like, I was
Yeah.
raised like Carrie, from the horror. Oh, you don't watch horror movies.
No.
Damn it.
Sorry.
All right, whatever. Anyway, where it's like, I'm going to the prom. It's like, it's like, I literally don't. My dad's like, you got to rent the tux. I'm like, rent the tux where?
Bro, the difference between the tux that we wore to prom and now is so different.
Really? I
Yeah,
haven't done it
100%. Now I feel like it's way more stylish. It's also because it's a different era, right? So
yeah. It's not like you could see. It's not like you can click 2 buttons on your phone and look at 20 billion options from GQ magazine from the 1960s up to now.
like if
It's
you
like,
went to if you went to prom today, would you wear the same tux that you
Hell
wore
no.
to that prom?
I
That's
wear
what
a
I'm saying.
plain ass tux. I wore, but that sounds like me. Would I wear it? Yeah, I probably would wear it, but
Nah,
I
bro, not me.
But I would go with something different.
I would be completely different.
I'd probably wear it because what I chose at the time, if I'm not mistaken,
Mm,
was typical me: neutral colors,
Mhm.
gray, white, black.
mm.
So I would wear it again.
Yeah.
But if I had to go back to my prom, your prom is supposed to look stupid. You
Is
really
it?
did.
No.
Well, not stupid. Think about it. You 18 years old. You're 17,
Oh,
18 years
and
old.
you're with a
like,
tux, yeah.
you're a little carajito with a thing, a suit thingy on. You know, you think you're a badass, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get with girls. No, wow, great, best treat in the world. It's like it's supposed to look stupid.
Bro,
You're
that's
supposed to look
a
back at
night
it.
that
like-
people don't forget.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
That's
the
what
night
it's
that people
supposed to
don't
be.
forget,
So
yeah.
you're supposed to put an outfit on that is like the dumbest thing ever. Like when I see pictures of my little brother Guido, I think he wore a white tux
Mm-hmm.
with like a green vest.
Well, wait, he wore the one that doesn't have the collar,
I don't know.
or was that something else that I saw? A picture
I don't.
of him?
I don't remember.
Because that was the style too. I don't know if that's still the style now. I
anymore.
don't think
No,
so.
not anymore.
But remember those? So it didn't have the collar. It was just like a little like collar like facing up a little bit.
Yeah, something
You know,
like that.
it's
But I don't remember. But if you look at his picture, you would literally say it's like, yeah, that's Guido in high school. That's like, little Jersey Shore spiky hair thing.
yeah.
And I'm like, okay,
Yeah, it would be completely different.
Yeah,
for me.
I would have done something a little crazier just so I can go back and say, oh wow, my dumbass wore that.
Yeah. Wait,
That's what
you would go crazier?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is because it's the picture. The whole point of the prom picture, or at least like I said, in my eyes, is to look back at the pictures. Like, or at least it's like, damn, it's high school. It's like, look how ridiculous I look.
Oh,
Look
okay.
at my. For me, it's like you look
No, I
back
don't
at
want to
my
look
picture.
crazy. I don't want to look crazy.
That I want to look stupid. Like, Chris, why you look like something out of Finding Nemo? Like, give me all like hues
Nah.
and colors and things that is like, as soon as you see that hue, those hues I've got, that's Chris at his prom.
Yeah, no, I just want it to look better. That's it, but definitely not crazier.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Well, there's another question that Edgar has, but we're kind of like we'll go faster, a little bit faster here.
Okay.
So we'll have we'll skip that question. And we'll go to a question from Andrew.
Okay.
Andrew said, "What's something you've learned about yourself in the past year? Have you learned something about yourself in the past year?"
Yeah. Have I learned something about myself the past year?
Mm-hmm.
Too many things. That's a very, very lengthy question to answer.
But do one though.
One.
Thing out of all the many things that you've learned about yourself this year. One thing that you've learned about yourself.
About me that I'm a little more capable that I always paint myself to be. Because like imposter syndrome is a consistent enemy for a lot of people, and for me it does that sometimes.
Oh yeah,
It
I
does
get that all the time too.
And
Yeah.
I think you hear me every now and then because that when you're like on Discord and I have my headphones on, sometimes you're just there and I'm just talking to myself.
Yeah.
I'm saying
Same here.
You know, you've heard me sometimes literally tell myself like, Chris, you're fucking stupid. Like you're really dumb. Like, and those are things that I consistently tell myself. It's a voice in the head back there. It's always like just clicking, just click, 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 click. I'm always hearing it. It's always there.
Yeah.
This goes back to the whole like learning to live with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I take that as fuel 9 times out of 10. But this year was different. This year was a little different.
You
Had
feel
to
like you
change.
were able to kind of like suppress that voice more?
way more than I ever thought I could.
Nice.
Way more than I ever thought I could, and if anything, use it as more efficient fuel.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think that I would be the person that I am today with everything that I've gone through in my entire life, but the past year, I would say 2022 taught me that it's like, all right, that little voice is like, it's always going to be there. It will be there.
Yeah.
You've always felt it. You've always seen it. Everywhere I've worked, everywhere I've gone, everything I've done.
Mm-hmm.
But look, like it's crushed.
Yeah.
You know, you are far more capable than you think you are. And I learned to stop doubting myself in certain things, with certain decisions, certain things that I've learned, things like that. Don't doubt it. Go with it. It's okay. You know, things like that. If I learned something, trust that the knowledge is there. The knowledge base is there. I didn't lose it.
Yeah.
The imposter syndrome used to always make me think that it's like the knowledge base is not there.
Yeah.
Or it's like you don't know what you're doing.
I got you.
Or you don't know what's gonna happen. That's another one. Oh, you don't know what's gonna happen. The truth of the matter is I kind of do.
Yeah.
Like painting little scenarios in my head and stuff. But yeah, those are the two biggest things for me.
That's that's great, man. First of all, I'm happy that that's happened in your life, because that's so important to like kind of like get to figure yourself out a little bit better. I think that for me, something that I learned about myself this past year, I want to say I feel like, oh my God, did you hear that?
I did.
Oh my God,
only because I have headphones on.
Everybody's gonna hear that.
That's why I was like,
oh my gosh. I don't. That wasn't even a burp. That was just a sound in
it's
my.
one of those like you ever open your
from
mouth.
The inside.
Yeah, you ever open your mouth and it's just like an air and it's not. I was like,
that was weird.
You just open your mouth and say,
oh my God. I think that I learned. I'm trying to, because I have something, but I don't know if that's something that I learned about myself.
Well, I technically gave you things I knew already about myself.
Yeah.
I had to relearn, and in life that happens.
Yeah, I think
lessons you relearn.
I think for me, I learned that I need to communicate more.
Okay.
I think that's what I learned about. I feel like there's certain things that I feel like I just needed to keep to myself. In order, which goes back to the mental health thing. I feel like I needed to keep things to myself because I didn't want to burden anybody else or just bring things that people were just didn't care about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like I learned how to communicate better, to express myself and just to go for it. And it's made me feel a lot better. I feel like even just having this podcast now, from the first time that we had the podcast, by the way, I was super nervous just because, you know, I hate sounding stupid. I hate like not knowing or just like this, like right now, like not able to find my words, which happens a lot.
You think you're not, though. That's the crazy part.
But anyway, in my head, at least. But anyway, that's something that I learned about myself this year. We'll do the last two questions. Sure. One more question from Andrew. It says, if you met each other, if we met each other now instead of in the past, do you think you would still end up being close?
Yes. I would say it would be a little more apparent now. I guess the reason why the past we weren't close is because you're closer in age to my brothers than you are to me. Yeah, technically, but that it's not that you're far in age from me. I mean, we're all four of us were born in 5 years. I mentioned that before, so we're very close in age. But you know, there's always a little bit of a gap when you're like a few grades behind or whatever. Like my brothers were your grade, you know, during high school or whatever, right? Yeah. Junior, senior, and I was already graduating. You guys were still in school. So there's that. So that kind of had that was a little line drawn. And then I would say also the differences in character. I have certain characteristics that really haven't changed through the years. Like, you know, being by myself is a characteristic I've always carried. Yeah. You know, and that's different from what my brothers were. So it's like, it's not a surprise that it's obvious, you know, their extroverted nature is going to be a little more appealing. If I don't interact, if I don't say anything, if I don't talk, obviously there will be nothing to base an interaction or to get close with anyway.
Yeah.
So we didn't interact that much. It's like we interacted because you knew my brothers.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how it was.
Yeah. No, if I met you today, I would not. No, I'm kidding.
It's like, no.
I would not be your friend. No, yeah, I think it would be even easier.
I think so too.
I think, yeah, because we just understand each other. We were very easy to talk to, and yeah, I think it would just be even faster or a route to becoming friends than it took me in the past.
Probably.
Yeah.
But is it? I don't regret the succession of events get to where we are here.
No, me neither. Yeah, I just think if we did it today, it would just been instant.
Yeah.
Instead of taking a few years.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So for the last question is from Lionel.
Oh.
Another friend of ours. These are all friend of ours. Lionel said, "How would our lives look if everyone was the opposite sexual orientation?"
Oh my God. I was thinking about, as soon as you said Lana, I was like, what is he going to pull out of that? What is going to, like, this one is a little left field.
Yeah.
Because I've actually never sat down to think about that.
I've never thought about that in my entire life. So
how would it be? How would read that again?
It says, how would our lives look?
How would our lives look
if everyone was the opposite sexual orientation? So we would
everybody
be girls,
or just us?
Everyone.
Okay, everyone. So that means straight people will be gay, and gay people will be straight.
Oh wait, is that what the question is?
Yeah, it said.
Did I not read it? Oh yeah,
sexual orientation. So
so I would be gay.
Yeah, and I would be straight.
And you would be straight.
Yeah.
How would our lives look?
I think I saw that on like a movie or something like that somewhere.
Okay.
And it was kind of like a comedic, like, dystopian horror, where it's like, oh, Mom, Dad, I have to come out to you guys. I'm straight. No, like stuff.
That's funny.
Like, it's somewhere out there. I don't know where
the parents are like, you're straight. Are you kidding me?
Literally. But it would look wild. Now, I thought, I don't know why in my head I thought he was only referencing us. Like,
no, it's everyone. So
it's everyone.
That means, damn,
that means we would be underpopulated. Think about it. Unless science gave us a way to, like, populate without,
that's true. So let's go into that. So there will be less people.
There would be less people for sure.
100%. How much less? How much less do you think it will be? Like we're at 8 billion, right?
I don't even know.
I think we reached 8 billion.
It would be ridiculously less, because unless we were living in the modern age where we can, conceive without two people having sex.
Yeah.
A male and a female having sex.
Throw us a number then. What, like
I don't know.
3 billion, you think?
3 billion. More like maybe
less than 3 billion?
Less than 3 billion. Because think about it. Think about it for 2 seconds. You got people that get together, that get married, have kids, like the regular conventional way. They got the people that just have kids, like, like cats.
Yeah.
Like cats. like hamsters. And those people are obviously straight. So it's like, if you turn them gay, they're...
Yeah,
there goes most of the people. That have
I'm
kids.
also trying to think that even if we had today's technology, nothing was different.
Yeah.
I still feel like a lot of people would just
have kids.
Yeah.
People would say, if we had today's technology, that's the big asterisk.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
with today's technology, just how we're living today.
Just how we're living today, and we just flip the switch now.
I think we'll have like 3 billion people. That's what I would say.
I think we would have less for sure. Yeah.
Less than 3 billion, you think?
No, less. I would say, yeah, probably less.
Because I'm thinking, I'm cutting a little bit more than half.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. It has to be like about a little bit less than half.
Yeah. So that's one thing. Population will go low.
I think population would definitely
be lower.
Diminish. And
what else will be different?
If we go from this point forward, then you can certainly predict a world economic crash within a couple years, because people would stop having kids. If we go from right now, the switch happens.
Mm-hmm.
The number one crisis will be people repopulating the earth, because we've only gotten to this point by populating, by growing.
Yeah. I feel like at that point, if we had a problem with
population,
I feel like there would
males
be a
are
lot.
obligated to donate their sperm.
I feel
Ow.
like I feel like it would be something crazy. Like more people would just sacrifice their own selves or their own identity to be able to reproduce.
Yeah,
like
I think
if
so too.
like if I was like gay and I did not like girls at all, I feel like if I saw that urge of needing to repopulate, I feel like I would be like, then I have to sleep with a girl. I have to sleep with a girl to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like people would have that.
I think some people would, because obviously, at least if we're talking sexual orientation and stuff, I've met straight, gay, and everything else in between. So I wouldn't doubt that there would be people that would do that to try to be popular. I mean, to a certain extent, I feel responsible for that, even though I don't know if I want kids or not. Because it's like, all right, the next gen is supposed to help carry the next gen and the gen after that. And when you think about it, humanity is iterative and exponential, meaning we're building blocks on top of each other.
Yeah.
So where in the succession of building blocks can I contribute for the next building block? You know.
Well,
yeah.
This was great. I was a little nervous because I didn't think we weren't gonna have enough questions. And I feel like we were gonna run through the questions really fast. But this was great. I think that we should maybe do this like a little bit more often.
And why is there like?
That was it.
That was it. Oh, I thought there was gonna be a part 2.
No. That was it. I did. There was people that had multiple questions, but I feel like it would have just been too long, way too long. Yeah.
Okay, so we will have to make a part 2.
No, we'll definitely do a part 2. 100. I feel like this could be a reoccurring thing that we'll do every so often.
You guys can ask us anything.
Yeah, 100%.
Pepsi versus Coca-Cola. Go.
Pepsi. Thank you very much.
Neither. Sugar's killing the population.
All right. So, anyway, did you know this is our 10th episode?
Really?
By the way, we've done 10 already. That's kind of crazy.
I didn't know that.
That went so fast.
That kind of.
This is our 10th episode. Thank you guys for listening.
Gracias, everyone.
Thank you for the questions, everybody that submitted a question. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
3, 2. I'm just kidding.
3,
Bye, everyone.
2, 1.